Alright, section 6. Trucks. Instructions for the trucks. GE-7. Introduction. Brake rigging. Brake rigging, floating bolster, 2-axle in trucks, inspection, lubrication, adjusting brake shoe, removal of the brake shoe, installation. Brake bolster, 3-axle truck inspection, lubrication, adjusting brake shoe, removal of the brake shoe, installation, handbrake, 2-axle floating bolster, truck description, truck removal, truck installation, 3-axle floating bolster, truck description, truck removal, truck installation. Introduction. This section covers the truck assembly. The truck assembly with the two-per locomotive that is located on the locomotive body. Also perform the conveyance of the transport the locomotive. The truck assembly consists of basically the following: the steel frame provided with the mounting platform, the truck bolster support the locomotive body, 2 or 3 wheel axle apply to provide means of transportation. By brake rigging, floating bolster, 2-axle truck inspection, daily and triple inspection for the wear. It also loose, broken, missing parts of the renewal brake shoe within they are worn. Check with the brake cylinder and piston travel figure 6.1. Lubrication. Do not lubricate the pin and bushing of the wear plate as it has been found to the grit or dirt sticking in the exposed oil surface cause the more wear when the parts are dry. Exhaust the air from the brake cylinder. Remove the pin connection with the compression bar to the brake lever. The replace of the pin with another slack adjusting hole with a patain the 2.5 brake cylinder push rod travel. The maximum brake cylinder push rod travel allowed is 6 inches. Brake shoe. Remove the exhaust over the air for the brake cylinder. The brake shoe with the possible with the wheel and tread, adjusting the black manual slack adjuster and or picking up the coarse adjustment. Hammer the keys out of the brake shoe head. Knock the shoes loose with the brake head and remove the sliding them up the wheel and out. Alright, this shows the brake cylinder and the crossover lever of the push rod, the brake cylinder, the brake head, the clevis, the brake lever, slack adjuster, and the brake adjusting holes, and brake shoe and truck frame. Previous slack adjuster hole arrangement, current slack adjuster hole arrangement. Figure 612 6.2 brake cylinder support. Shows the locking plate hardening washer. Check for wear. Alright, brake shoe and then on the bottom it shows the shell tuning and check of the surface of the wear, coarse adjustment hole, the 12x4 brake cylinder, jam nut, slack adjuster nut, the 3x4, and its piston travel adjustment, 3.5-inch maximum allowed, adjusting live lever and key. The brake shoe installation. Insert the new shoe for the brake head with the lines open, the key with the drive the keys in play with the career. Check the shoe for the tightness. Adjust the manual slack adjust for the tube obtain the dimension previously described in the adjustment section. Make sure the brake cylinder cutout cocks are open when the work is finished. Brake rigging, floating bolster, 3-axle trucks. Inspection. Daily triple inspection wear. Loose of the braking, missing wires. Renew the brake shoe within they are worn. Check the brake cylinder, piston travel if it's 6.2. Lubricating. Do not lubricate pins, bushings, or wear plates. It has been found that grit or dirt sticking to exposed oil surfaces can cause more wear when the parts are dry. Just a minute. They exhaust the air from the brake cylinder by turning the truck cutout cock under the deck. Loosen the jab nut with the piston push rod with the turn the adjusting knob to reduce the piston travel to turn the nut to move the shoe closer to the wheels. The lid increase the piston travel to move the shoes away from the wheels. After the adjustment, tighten the jam nut. Piston travel should be held as closely as possible to the limit of 3.25-inch travel should not be exceed 3.5-inch maximum. The piston travel cannot be adjusted with the slack adjuster movement alone. Coarse adjustment becomes necessary to make the coarse adjustment, then reconnect the lower end of the live lever to do another set coarse adjustment. Hold with the live lever, reconnect the split cylinder and push rod. Brake shoe removal. Exhaust the air from the brake cylinder to make sure that move the shoe as far as possible. The wheel tread, adjusting the manual slack adjuster and or picking of the coarse adjustment. Hammer the keys out of the brake shoe head. Knock the shoes loose from the brake head and remove the sliding of them up the wheel and out. Brake shoe installation. Insert the new shoe for the brake heads. Line up the keyways. Drive the keyways into place. Check the shoe for the tightness. Adjust the manual slack adjuster to obtain 3/4 of an inch span. Brake cylinder piston travel to adjust the brake cylinder cutout cocks to open when their work is finished. Handbrake. On the 3-axle floating truck with the low hung brake with the cylinder, the QR quick release valve is provided with the remove the air from the brake cylinder with handbraking leverage system. The handbrake chain must strip the stem of the quick release valve. No trapped air permitted in the brake cylinder. Otherwise, the locomotive air pressure leaks off. The locomotive can roll down the track. No air is not reapplied to affect the cylinder with the release of the handbrake only with the reapplication of the air brakes and the stem is not tripped. Two-axle floating bolster truck. The description: the truck is a four-wheel with a two-motor floating bolster with the lateral with the sideways movement of the bolster, providing heavy to the left of the floor on the floor covered rubber steel sandwich mount with the wear point plates for the truck frame of the bolster, longitudinal moment of the bolster. The truck frame is one piece of the steel casting, the rest of the coil springs, which are seated with the general housing figure 6-4. Truck removal: disconnect out the ground lead with the cable, the floor power cable with the east of the traction motor, disconnect the ground cable between the bolster and the platform, disconnect all the sander hose from the sander for the nozzle of the truck, disconnect the air brake hose of the truck with the brake cylinder pipes, disconnect the axle alternator cable from the junction box, the journal housing adapter coil, and secure the cable with it will not damage. Also disconnect the speed control governor drive cable. Remove the secure with the flange lubricators if then remove the retaining bolts with the safety hook pins and the safety hook pins, 2 per truck for the trucks to be removed. Disconnect the handbrake chain from the brake lever. Disconnect with the traction motor air boot from the traction motor. Raise the locomotive per platform clear from the track of the jack of the crane. Lower the tracks, drop the table. Watching the cables, air ducts, hoses will not be damaged. If the trucks are to be pulled out of the sideways, the platform will have to be raised or the trucks lowered at least 10 inches on the locomotive. Figure 6-5 showing lifting hook and loading pad. 11. After the truck is removed under the locomotive, cover the air duct opening in all of the tracks on all traction motors. Cover the truck center plate to prevent entrance of the dirt and other foreign matter. All right, figure 6-4, your truck assembly. The from the top right-hand corner, push rod truck frame, crossover lever, floating bolster, center bearing, roller, rubber bolster mount, coil spring, snubber bracket, journal bearing, adapter, axle, alternator, brake shoe, compression rod. And then that breaks down into the current design of the slack adjuster arrangement and the previous design of slack adjuster arrangement. And then far to the left is the pedestal tie bar and pedestal liner and brake cylinder. Removal of the one truck. Preparing the truck to be removed is outlined in truck removal section. Figure 6-5 shows the lifting hook and loading pad. Loading pad. To remove the safety hooks on both of the track. Raise the platform high enough to disengage both of the center plates. Otherwise, the center plate may be damaged from cocking. Roll the truck from beneath the platform. If the work is done with a drop table in a pit, the second truck does not have to be touched. Truck installation. Space of the trucks and center plates. The center plate spacing of 30 foot 8 inches. The numbered one truck has been speed with the record the number 1 journal on the right side of the locomotive. The handbrake is also known as number 1 truck. Inspect the truck center plate with any of the dirt, metal chip, lubricate the center plates, adding a 3-pint mixture for the car oil with and dry graphite. With the center plate mixture proportion with 1 gallon of the car oil to 1/2 pound with dry graphite. Install the dust cover retaining clamp. Remove the covers of the motor air duct openings. Lower the platform on the truck. Aerate the truck on the drop table to carefully engage the center plates. Figure 6-6 shows typical truck cylinder assembly. Figure 12-4 brake cylinder. 1 the snubber, 2 the bolster mount, 3 the bolster, 4 the center plate, 5 the brake shoe, 6 the brake hanger, 7 the brake cylinder, 8 the traction motor, 9 the journal bearing, and 10 the pedestal bar. Alright, 6. Attach the safety hook for the pins and pin retainers. Connect over the 7. Connect with the ground lead cable, the 4 motor for the cable to each for the traction motor. Connect with the ground cable between the bolster and the platform. Connect with the air brake hose from the platform to the brake cylinder pipes of the truck. Be sure they're open with the cutout cockers of these pipes under the platform before placing locomotive in service. Install the hose with the sand pipes on the platform to the standard nozzle of the truck. Connect with the handbrake chain with the brake lever to connect with the axle alternator cable to the journal housing journal box. Also connect with the speed with the control governor cable to beach 13. Be certain that all the journal bearings, traction motor, gear cases, traction motor, suspension bearings are lubricated before moving the locomotive. 14. Adjust the brake reading. 15. Check the traction motor rotation. 3. Axle floating bolster truck. Description. The truck is a 6-wheel with a 3-motor floating bolster type of lateral sideways movement of the bolster, provided with having the rest on the covered rubber the steel sandwich mounts with the wear plates on the truck frame of the bolster limits for the longitudinal movement of the bolster. The truck frame is one-piece castings to rest on with the coil spring which is received in the journal housing figure 6-6. Truck removal. The disconnect with the ground lead cable with all 4 power with the cables with each for the traction motor. Disconnect with the ground cables between the bolster and the platform. Disconnect the sander hose from the sander nozzle on the truck. Disconnect the air brake hose from the truck's brake cylinder pipe. Disconnect the auxiliary alternator cable from the junction box with the journal housing adapter coil with the secure with the cable that will not be damaged. Also disconnect the speed control governor drive cable. 6. Remove the secure of the flange lubricators if required. 7. Remove the retaining bolts with the safety hook pins and safety hook pins and 2 per truck for the trucks to be removed. 9. Disconnect the handbrake chain with the brake lever. 8. Disconnect the handbrake chain from the brake lever. 9. Disconnect the traction motor air boot from the traction motor on the end of the motors only. 10. Disconnect the snubber and shock absorber for the journal box housing. 11. Raise the locomotive platform clear of the trucks, jacks, and cranes, lower the trucks, and drop the table. Watching the cable of the air ducts and the hoses will not be damaged if the trucks are to be pulled out some ways. The platform will have to be raised and the trucks lowered at least 10 inches on the locomotive. The figure 6-7 shows the lifting hook and loading pad. Our figure 6-7 shows the lifting hook and loading pad, okay? Alright, after the truck is removed from the under of the locomotive, the cover of the air duct, opening all of the traction motor, the cover of the truck center plate to prevent entrance for the dirt and other foreign material. Removal of one truck. Remove the truck of the remove the outline with the truck removal. Section 2, remove the safety hook on the bolts over the truck. The caution, raise the platform high enough to disengage both center plates, otherwise the center plate may be damaged from cocking. Roll the truck from beneath of the platform if the work is done with the drop table in the pit with the second truck does not have to be touched. 1. Truck insulation. Truck insulation. 1. Locate the trucks with the center plate proper spacing. Number 1 truck usually has speed rack quarter on the number 1 journal on the right side of the locomotive. The handbrake is normally fitted on the number 1 truck. Inspect the truck stand with a clean out with the dirt and the metal chip. Lubricate the center plate with adding 3 quarts of mixture for the car oil with the dry graphite to each of the center plate. Mixture with a portion of 1 gallon of the car oil with the AAR spec M906 to 1/2 pound of dry graphite AAR spec M913. Install the dust cover with the retaining clip and remove the covers of the motor air duct openings. Lower the platform onto the truck to raise the truck on the drop table to carefully engage the center plates. Attach the safety hook pins for the pin retainers. Attach the snubber to the journal housing if it already attached. And 8. Connect the ground link cable if used, and then the 4 motor cable to each for the traction motor. 9. Connect the ground cable between the bolster and the platform if used. 10. Connect the air brake hose from the platform to the brake cylinder pipe to the truck. Be sure to open the cutout clocks from these pipes onto the platform before placing the locomotives in service. 11. Install the hose from the sand pipes on the platform, the sand nozzle on the truck. 12. Connect the handbrake to the chain of the brake lever. 13. Connect the axle alternator cable to the journal housing journal box. Also connect the speed control governor cable. 14. Assure the journal boxing bearings and truck motor gear in case of the direction motor suspension bearings are lubricated before moving the locomotive. 15. Adjusting the brake rigging. And 16. Check the traction motor rotation. And that was part 6, instructions, trucks, GE-7 model.